African Union Commission Chairman Musa Faki Mahamat is running unopposed for re-election as Africa's top diplomat. But that uncontested race has provoked outrage from observers of the 55-member African Union, which they say is failing to represent the needs of the continent's 1.3 billion people. Critics of the Ethiopia-based organization are lobbying to postpone the vote at least 6 months to let more candidates come forward. The author of a petition by the Coalition of Supporters Unions of Africa says the AU did that 4 years ago, when there were only 3 candidates for that seat. He spoke to VOA via Google Hangouts.
How come that 4 years down the line, at the same time, we are having only 1 candidate, and people are telling us that that is representative enough? If 3 wasn't representative enough, how can 1 be representative enough?
There is a growing belief in Africa, among African nations and its citizens, that the government of France is doing tactics and different policies which in essence are extorting the former colonies of France. Sarfo, good to have you with us.
Hi, good evening, and greetings to all your viewers.
So what is going on there?
Guess what? Right now, as we sit here, we are just 2 weeks away from the African Union elections. And guess what? You know, the same guy, that Steward of France that is heading the African Union, is running unopposed for that election. France has been able to kind of stifle every kind of opposition against this guy, to the extent that for the first time in African history, we're going to get the 55 heads of state to converge in Addis Ababa, the headquarters of the African Union, on the 7th of February. And Faki Musa Mahamat is running unopposed. And that means if nothing happens, the 55 heads of state are not going to have any option but to elect him to continue as the African Union chairperson for another 4 years. He's done, the West to the African economy and everything for the past 4 years, and he's getting another 4 years just on the silver platter, just like that. Courtesy Macron of France.
African Union Commission elections are scheduled for February the 7th in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. They are, however, facing a significant amount of public outcry due to the fact that for the first time in its history, the incumbent chairman, Faki Musa Mahamat of Chad, is running unopposed for a second 4-year term.
On behalf of COSUA, the body that seeks to bring all Africans together and push for Pan-Africanism, we are appealing to you, Your Excellencies, all 55 of you. This is very, very crucial. In less than a month, we are having the African Union Commission elections. We don't care about all the other sectors, the commissioners and all that, but the one that you cast your vote for to become the new African Union Commission chairperson is already sitting there. He's already taken 4 years. You know in the depth of your heart how he has performed, and you know whether he is the best person to take Africa for another 4 years. We are pleading with you. If this man comes presenting a ballot paper to you that has only one name and only one photo on it, that is himself. I need you to realize as an African leader that that is an insult. He's presenting a bird without feathers to you and asking you to name it. Please, do the right thing. Reject that ballot paper. Don't vote on it and save this continent for posterity for another 4 years.
In 2016, there was a precedent set by the then AU chairperson, Imbokodo Yomzansi Africa, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, when she reopened the nomination process to ensure that the vote for the AU Commission chairperson is free and fair. At that time, there were only 3 candidates, which was deemed not to be fair, which was deemed not to be an equal representation of the continent. As it stands, we have an unopposed candidate for the coming elections, which is even worse than the previous regime. I am appealing that the honorable presidents of the African countries abstain from voting, as this wouldn't be a fair representation of Africa. Our forefathers fought for this freedom. for Africa not to be colonized. However, should these elections continue, it will be betraying the same legacy that we have fought for to protect.
If we don't take care, and the election in African Union goes the other way, we're in trouble.
When you see a whole continent being taken by the scruff of the neck by one person that says that this is my property, and I want to do whatever I want with it, you just cannot turn a blind eye to it and let it go.
Please do not cast your vote for a process that is so undemocratic to only rubber stamp one candidate, instead of allowing more candidates to be brought forward. Please abstain from voting so that the opportunity can be reopened to allow other eligible candidates to be brought forward, so that the process can be seen to be representative, to be democratic, to be fair. Whoever then emerges out of that fair process, we at COSUA will support that candidate. We will support that new chairperson of the AU Commission. We are calling upon once again to all heads of state to please abstain from endorsing only one candidate, which was going to become the chairperson of the AU Commission. Siyabonga, siyabulela, bayalebucha, bayadanki, engosi.
Madam Zuma had a situation where there were 3 candidates. And he said, no, in terms of democratic rule, let's postpone these elections. 3 is not representative enough.
Yeah.
Let's get 5. And we got 5. And we went through with it peacefully.
And he was the one that
benefited as the 5th one. Now he takes over. And then for the past 6 months, it's been, I am running unopposed. Okay. Nobody is coming to challenge me.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اسمي جمال سمير محرم، جمهورية مصر العربية، ورئيس منظمة كوزوا مصر وشمال أفريقيا لاتحاد مشجعي أفريقيا. أسجل اعتراضي على أن يكون هناك شخص واحد فقط هو المرشح لرئاسة المفوضية في الاتحاد الأفريقي AU، وأرجو وأناشد معالي فخامة السيد رئيس الجمهورية المطالبة بتأجيل هذه الانتخابات حتى يكون هناك أكثر من مرشح لرئاسة المفوضية، وحتى تتحقق الديمقراطية بالشكل الكامل والشفافية والنزاهة في انتخاب الشخص المناسب لهذا المنصب، ليس اعتراضا على شخص، ولكن حتى يكون هناك حرية في اختيار أشخاص يستحقوا أن يتولوا هذا المنصب، وأن يعرض هذا الأمر بشكل فيه نوع من الثقة وفيه نوع من الشفافية بقدر كافي. وافر الشكر والتقدير.
Under hashtag Catch-19 agenda, we are campaigning to have 19 heads of state to abstain from voting in the upcoming African Union chairperson election, which in turn will force the exercise to be postponed for a period of 6 months. This will automatically subject the process to a runoff, where other candidates can come in for them to choose and have a choice in a democratic election. I hereby take this opportunity to request my beloved President, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, not to support a one-candidate election until we get more than one candidate to enable democracy and good governance reign in Africa. Rais wetu mpendwa, na kuomba tusaidie tuwe na uongozi bora pale Umoja wa Afrika kwa kutushiriki katika uchaguzi gushi unaopangwa kuchagua mwenyekiti. Asante sana. God bless Kenya. God bless East Africa. God bless Africa.
Son Excellence, Monsieur Alassane Dramane Ouattara, Président de la République de Côte d'Ivoire. Je m'adresse à vous en tant qu'un citoyen ivoirien et digne fils de l'Afrique. Monsieur le Président, Aujourd'hui, la Côte d'Ivoire est très belle et beaucoup respectée dans le monde entier à cause du bon système électoral juste et transparent que votre gouvernement a mis en place. Monsieur le Président, je soutiens le hashtag 19 Agenda du COSUA qui favorise le processus d'une élection démocratique des multi-candidats dans lequel le meilleur candidat gagne l'élection et non pas celle d'un seul homme. Comme vous le savez, la Côte d'Ivoire a vécu son expérience. Le monopole d'une élection d'un seul candidat sans opposition est une recette de désastre. C'est pourquoi je vous demande de plaider avec votre collègue chef d'État des pays francophones autour de vous, de vous abstenir de voter pour M. Faki Moussa Mahama pour l'élection de la Commission d'Union africaine qui va avoir lieu février 7 2021 à Addis Abeba. Ces bons gestes de votre part favorisera le processus électoral démocratique juste, crédible et transparent en toute Afrique et dans le monde entier. Et cela va promouvoir la paix entre tous les citoyens et ça va éviter des guerres et des troubles et des nuisances. Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
We are very concerned with what is happening at the African Union, especially the Commission, where there's supposed to be elections for to elect the chairperson for the Commission. And as you all are aware, the African Union is comprised of more than 50 member countries. And now we find it very disturbing that there's only one candidate that is standing for election as the chair for the commission, and this is Mr. Faki. We feel and we want to appeal to the African leaders, the African Union leadership, and more so to His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is the current chairperson of the African Union, to seriously consider that they must postpone these elections that are going to take place on the 7th, or that are scheduled to take place on the 7th of February. I mean, there's no way, it's almost like a joke that an organization like African Union must only have one person standing to be re-elected for the African Commission's chairmanship. Because I don't know how they would handle a situation if one of the member countries or the president of one of the African countries suddenly decided that no, he was going to stand for elections unopposed and alone. How would they try to talk to such a person and try to ensure that they ensure democratic principles are undertaken in member countries if they cannot be seen to be practicing these democratic principles at the helm of the AU itself? So we really, as COSUA, are appealing to the leadership of the African Union, to all the presidents and all those that are involved in organizing these elections, that they must seriously consider postponing the elections so that other people can come, can be invited, can participate. We are aware that there are some individuals that wanted to stand, but they were systematically sidelined, silenced, or just not considered to stand for re-election, for elections. You know, I mean, the deputy chair's position and other positions at the African Commission
have got more than 19, 17 individuals that are standing to be elected. How come that the chairman's position, there's only one person, the incumbent, to stand as unopposed? We really must be seen to practice the democratic principles from the top right to the least of the countries on the continent. I hope this appeal reaches and touches the hearts of the powers that may be. Thank you.
I'm making this appeal to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of Ghana and current Chairman of ECOWAS. His Excellency, we need your attention for a second, with all due respect. Sir, it has come to the notice of the diaspora that the African Union elections is going to be contested come February the 7th, 2021, and is being contested by a sole candidate, which beat our minds, and we deem it undemocratic and unconstitutional. We are therefore appealing to you to use your good office to persuade your other 15 African head of states that belongs to ECOWAS to vote against Mr. Faki Mahamat, since voting for Mr. Mahamat will be an insult to your intelligence. When the ballot paper comes and we see only Mr. Mahamat's picture on the ballot, then that means he's insulting your integrity and your wisdom as a leader of one of the African countries. Indeed, COSUA stands with African Union, and for one candidate to represent the whole Africa, the 55 nations, that means it's unconstitutional and undemocratic. And for fairness sake, we ask for free, fair, and transparent elections come February 7th, 2021. We are appealing to you to use your good office to persuade the other 55 heads of state in any way you can to let them vote against this man. This man is trying to use dictatorship and imperialism on African Union. And I think as a member of COSUA and the diaspora, it doesn't stick well with us. And we know Your Excellency, with your integrity, wisdom, and your vision towards Africa, you will stand and do the right thing for Africa. We thank you for your attention. God bless Ghana, God bless COSUA, and God bless Africa.
I don't understand this. Even with the dictators in Africa, anytime they have elections in their various countries, they still have contenders so that democracy will thrive well. But unlike this election, we have only one person, Faki Mahamat, as the only contender. What comes into my mind is this. So there's nobody in Africa who is interested in this position or what? Democracy must prevail. Africa is for Africans. Africa, we don't own any allegiance to France. So Faki Mahamat alone cannot take us where Africa shouldn't go. So our appeal to heads of state is the Catch-19 agenda that COSUA is pursuing is like this. On the 7th of February, during the election, when you are giving on a ballot paper with one person on it, that is an insult. Please, what you can do to save Africans is this. Abstain, don't vote. Don't vote for only one contender. We need more people. Now, on March 12th, another history is going to be made in Africa. CAF is going to elect the president. And four contenders are vying for this position. That is what it should be with the AU chairmanship. We are saying no. Faki Mahamat is somebody who doesn't. What has he done to warrant
all of us supporting only one contender. Even at the AU office, over 80% of the staff don't like him. So my advice or suggestion to my fellow African heads of state is this. February 7th, don't vote for Faki Mahamat.
As an organization that believes in fairness and equality, we are using this Catch Agenda 19 to call upon all the presidents of this great continent, Africa, to abstain from voting come February 7th, 2021. This automatically forced the elections to be postponed to allow room for democracy. Failure to do this, Africa shall be walking a path to dictatorship, which we don't want for our beloved continent, Africa. The AU is our only one hope for free, fair, and united Africa. Viva Africa! Viva Africa! God bless Africa.
What we've done is to get to the point where we see that unless we take the battle or we take the fight to the next level, we might still end up, the losers. And if we end up the losers, it's Africa that has ended up the losers.
And so for every well-meaning African on the continent and in the diaspora, the Catch-19 agenda campaign calling for at least 19 African presidents not to cast their votes come February 2021 has proven fruitful, as the first support to our campaign has come in from President Yoweri Museveni of the Republic of Uganda. Here is a copy of the document from Museveni to the African Union Commission. Your Excellency, Happy New Year and warm greetings from the people of Uganda. As you may be aware, the elections to fill senior positions in the African Union Commission are scheduled to take place during the 34th AU Ordinary Assembly of the African Union, 6th to 7th February 2021. The AU Commission has communicated that the summit will be held virtually due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic situation. In this regard, the pandemic has made the process of electing commission leaders very challenging. My sincere view is that it will be difficult for the Assembly to conduct important elections of senior leaders of the Commission virtually as envisaged. Moreover, the Assembly has not had the opportunity to receive presentations from candidates in respect of their vision for the African Union, a key basis for selecting the most suitable candidates as envisioned in AU reforms. In view of these anticipated challenges in remotely dealing with practical issues of elections, I recommend that the upcoming AU elections be postponed in accordance with Article 9, Section 1I of the AU Constitutive Act for a period of 1 year or until such a time when the Assembly is positioned to hold a physical meeting to deal with the AU Commission choices.
Africa Rights with Susan West.